I want to say good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I am wonderful.
I'm speaking with Angela Fred today on Samela, What's Going On Now. And today I just wanted to talk with her and to find out a little bit about who she is, what she does, and what her opinion is on certain things in the area. Tell me a little bit about you and what you do.
Well, my name is Angela Fred. This is my 29th year in education.
Wow.
I do work for the public school system, but I own my own business, Black River A+ Education Consultants.
Wow. Okay. And what do you do there, actually?
Okay, with Black River, I work in a multitude of ways. I work with high school students to ensure that they are equipped with the skills they need for SAT, ACT preparation, which leads them to college scholarships.
Right.
So I also assist parents with helping their children with scholarship opportunities, from filling out the application to writing the essays that go along with the application. Yeah. And I see them through the entire process. That's one leg of the company.
Yes.
However, for many, many years, probably since my 5th year of teaching, or before my 5th year of teaching, I have been helping folks pass the praxis exam in order to become educators. So I officially started my business 10 years ago, even though I've been working in this capacity for many years. So for many, many years, I have been working with folks to make sure that they pass the praxis.
Yes.
But since COVID and the enormous number of shortages in teachers across the state and other surrounding states,
yes,
the business has flourished in that I am bringing in many, many folks, getting many, many folks to pass the assessment.
Yes.
And not just to pass the assessment. I have a team of really highly qualified young people who really know how to engage others and move them forward, and how to make sure that they are not just passing the test.
Yes.
They know how to teach young people.
Right. Okay.
So that has been ongoing for a long time.
Yes.
And to be honest, that is really the leg of my business at this point.
Right.
Because the way we feel now is if we can get the teacher certified, then we're helping the students.
Exactly.
So we've sort of held off just a bit. We only take a few students at this point.
Right.
We work with the adults and get them as solid as possible so that we can get them into the classrooms to help teachers. And that's just not locally. We do that all over, but we do make sure that we do a lot of the work here because I'm from here.
Okay.
And I believe in education. I mean, I believe that the only way we can grow is through the education that our kids get.
Well, what you're doing is very important because, I was just speaking with a young lady about something similar to this. And I was telling her, you got to start. And if us parents lack, the children is going to lack, and we can't all blame just the teachers. It's sort of like a community thing. You have to sort of get together and, all help one, and it'll make it successful for everybody.
And, when I tell the community, when I do meet with parent groups, I'm very clear in saying the child's first teacher is the home.
Exactly.
So we expect a lot of school systems, but a lot of what kids bring to the table initially is where teachers then lead off from.
Exactly.
So if you pour a lot into your kids educationally, and I'm not talking about parents knowing all of the teacher stuff.
Exactly.
I'm talking about just as simple as, can your child tie his or her shoes? Do they know how to use a fork and a spoon? Do they know the letters of their name? Do they know the colors? I'm talking about simple things.
The basics.
Before they hit 4K.
Yes, exactly.
All of those things help teachers as they move forward in teaching.
Yes.
So imagine you have a group of 5-year-olds. And you have one group that comes in where parents have been reading to them, showing them letters, showing them colors. Let's say you have a class of 25. Let's say 12, the parents have been doing this long term from birth.
Yes.
Then you have the other 13 where the parents may not have been doing any of this. These two groups of kids are coming in completely different.
Yes, exactly.
But we expect the same result.
Exactly.
And we all know that when you come in at a different level, you're going to move along a little faster.
Yes.
So what I ask of parents, I don't care what level, where they're from, you must pour something into your children before you bring them into the system.
Exactly.
And then, boy, let me tell you, that would help.
Yes.
Because remember, we have a huge shortage across the country.
Exactly.
In terms of teachers.
Yes.
So we must, at this point, become a village again.
Exactly.
From the church, from the community, to the small groups, we must put and pour in whatever we can so that when they do hit the school building, the tasks are not as difficult because we're training teachers.
Yes. Yes.
And teachers and parents need to understand the game has changed. So if you want your kids to get the best type of education possible, you must help pour into
pour
that
into them
education.
exactly before they get into the school. And then a lot of the parents take the kids in there not knowing these basics and expect the teacher to get their child up to that level with those children that's already got those basics. And if they don't do it, if your child don't move on as fast, they get mad at the teachers. And I'm thinking, what part of your job did you not do to help that child get to where they need to be?
And that's where I come in, and I'll tell churches, I'll tell community groups, we can't leave young parents just there. Or we will have a lot of kids who may be being raised by grandparents.
Exactly,
Yes.
yes.
We have to leverage what we have to ensure that we're not leaving those folks out.
Yes.
Like if we know people in that situation, what are we here for?
Exactly.
We must become servant leaders.
Yes.
We then become those people who come in and assist them with that 4 or 5 year old who may not have all those basic skills because grandma's old, grandpa's old.
They don't know that
we
themselves.
must become a village in terms of helping each other to move our kids forward and stop doing the blame game. Because remember, we all come at this from different places, but at the end of the day, your child is still going to be your child.
Yes.
So I beg parents, I don't care where you get it from. The dollar store has every type of teaching tool that a child could possibly need up to a certain level. So get coloring books to teach them how to color within the lines.
Yes.
Get the large pencils and teach them how to write straight lines.
Yes.
Because you don't necessarily have to know all of this stuff just to teach your own child basic skills.
Yes.
Let them watch educational videos. They watch everything else. YouTube has them on there for free.
Exactly.
So you can look up teaching my child the alphabet, and you can see everything to help you at home with your kid. I don't care what you're looking for, it's on YouTube now.
Exactly.
So, back in the day, we'd have to make stuff up. We'd have to buy it. Tracing the letters.
Yes.
Parents can now go to the dollar store, $1.25.
And pick
gives you that tracing book.
Exactly.
You can use YouTube to help you figure out how you're going to help your 5-year-old.
Yes.
You just type in, teaching my 5-year-old at the house, and thousands of videos will come up.
Yeah,
so really, what I guess I'm saying is there's no excuse. And like I said, I've been teaching a long time, and I have not just taught other people's children. I've taught community children, in addition to my own. Sometimes with my 2, telling me I may have neglected them because of the stuff that I poured into other
kids. Yeah.
But it's only a few of us, but it's a lot of them.
Yes.
So I am imploring parents that, if they want to grow our community, if you want to make sure that we're getting the best, we have to pour into every kid that we come into contact with. Church,
not only ours,
community groups, not just our ones at the house. And we have to take it back to the community. I guess about Mayor Tisdale.
Yes.
Like I've seen some of the things he's done.
Yeah.
I've seen the town be revitalized in several ways.
Yes.
I go over to the rec a lot.
Yes.
And I see where the young people are over there.
Yes.
Because they need a safe space to go after school if they really want to be a part of something that's not, out of the way. So I see the kids going to the rec.
Yes.
I see the revitalization of the town. I've seen him at events where I believe the mayor should have been present. I've seen him try to leverage by talking to varying people.
Yes.
I have not seen him just talking to one group. I'm being very honest. I've seen him intentionally trying to go out and speak with folks. In fact, when I first met Darren, he was very quick to remind me that he was a Kingstree High graduate.
Yes.
And that I didn't know myself.
Okay.
So in terms of this next election, and I'm not saying anything against the other person because I just don't know her.
Exactly.
I can only say that I've seen the mayor reach out and do what I think a mayor is supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I have been in this system a long time. I've seen a lot of mayors. I've seen him as one who's probably done more than most. Let me say that.
Yes. Well, over a period of time, people expect so much more from a person, but then time is something, if you're trying to prepare something, just like we were talking about the kids, it takes time, and you have to have patience, Nothing happens overnight.
No, that's very true.
Nothing happens overnight. And I don't know the young lady myself personally. I've had the privilege of meeting her and speaking with her once. And she seems like a very nice young lady. And as I said, I spoke with Darren a few times, and he seems like a nice young man. I just say, whatever they're doing, I want them to stay focused. And maybe I'm stepping out of line a little bit saying this. Stay focused on what the real, true issues are in the community for the young people.
Well,
because that's our
future. You're right. Now, let me go back. Remember, I'm a small business owner. Black River A Plus Education Consultants. And anyone that knows me,
Yes.
know that once I put myself into a situation where I say I'm going to help, I don't care whether it's the young people or whether it's the aspiring teachers,
Yes, yes.
then I make a plan.
Exactly.
Because nothing works without a plan.
There you go.
So regardless of which one, and I said previously, I only know Mayor Tisdale.
Yes.
Everything must come with a plan. And, I go to meetings, so I saw that there was a revitalization plan.
Yeah.
I saw that there was a long-term one when he first was elected, and I see that there is one now.
Yes.
So without a plan, none of this is going to come into fruition.
Exactly.
So regardless of who's running for any particular office,
Right.
because initially I was appointed to the Williamsburg County School District by the legislature, an appointment.
Yes.
So I was really, I guess I can still say that I am grateful that someone saw something in me
Yes.
to make an appointment.
Exactly.
But after that appointment, I then had to run for that office.
There you go.
Okay, and when I went for that particular office, I had a platform
Exactly.
with a plan.
Yes. Yes.
And once the district was shifted, I decided that my plan would shift. And my plan then went to my business, and then how could I continue to help young people directly, and to continue to ensure that we have teachers coming into our district and giving back to the community.
Right.
So in me having those personal feelings, whoever is going to be elected for this position,
Yes.
I truly believe has to have the heart for it,
Yes.
and has to come with a plan. But more than that, you heard what I said. You have to go to the people. You have to have conversations with the people.
Yes.
And you have to work towards building the capacity of the area you're in.
Yes.
I'm a believer. I'm a taxpayer of Williamsburg County. I believe that we must grow our county.
Right.
And that is just it. So if Mayor Tisdale has a plan
Yes.
for a level of growth that's going to carry us from where we are now,
Yes.
I'm all in for that.
Right,
Because
exactly.
we must have a plan, but you have to have the action parts to ensure that that happens. Because all of the education that I'm talking about, that we were talking
Yes,
about,
yes.
none of that is going to be long-term in the growth of our community. If we cannot get our young people into the community college, which is Williamsburg Technical College here, and I'm quite sure the mayor is very attached to whatever that is because it's within the town of Kingstree.
Exactly.
We have to ensure that our companies that we already have here are satisfied with what Williamsburg is offering, and Williamsburg is satisfied with what the companies are offering us.
Yeah.
So we have to maintain and retain the businesses that we have, while at the same time growing and making sure that we're getting additional businesses in. And I'll just, in terms of business, I'm a straight up educator, but I'm going back to when that Pizza Hut / Taco Bell came.
Yes.
I saw the enormity of happiness within the kids.
Yes.
They had another type of place that they could go to,
yes.
and not go all the way down to Lake City, or
Yes.
the kids on my end going all the way down to Georgetown.
Wow.
Because when
Yes.
you're in Williamsburg, you want to keep everything in Williamsburg.
Yes.
We need to build our own capacity.
Yes.
So as
Gotcha.
we grow education, we need to be able to grow in the things that we can offer our young people, so that we can keep a percentage of them here,
Yes.
with good paying jobs and
Exactly.
the ability to take care of their families.
Gotcha. That's exactly right. Wow. You said a mouthful, and it's the truth.
Yes.
How do you feel the community tie in with the education?
Well, I'm going to go back to what I said originally. Community people must see themselves as a village. You must see yourselves, whether you're in church, whether you're just in small community groups, you must now, and I'm really so saying this with so much sincerity, especially after COVID, after we've seen so many things that have taken place since COVID,
Yes.
we must take our communities back. You have an extreme amount of gun violence. You have an extreme amount of our young people who are going down the wrong path. And people heard me say, I raised two.
Yes.
I understand, and I promise you, in raising my children, I got as many entities out there as possible to help me. And I don't care how old my young people are, and mine are 23 and 25. I still reach out to some of those people I got
Yes.
for support,
Yes.
and seeing them through high school and seeing them through college.
Yes.
And I will still ask for support
Yes.
as I see them through to the end.
Exactly.
Because you know what? Once a parent,
Always
always
a
a parent. They don't
parent.
stop being your parent
Yes.
just because they reach, that's your child, just because they reached a certain age.
Yes, right.
So in terms of the community, we must work together in tandem to ensure that we're putting things in place to ensure that our kids, I don't care what level they are, that they are meeting the targets of learning, that they are not in the street, that especially before they're 18. After 18, sometimes parents, and we all who our parents know, they may shift. But the point is, we cannot let them go before 18.
Yes.
We can't throw our hands off and just throw them up.
Exactly.
I don't care who you have to call. I don't care who you have to get involved. You do as much as you can as a parent or grandparent or the church to get others involved to ensure that that child makes it. And not just make it, but get in sound education. Because there are things in place now within this public system for all types of students. You know, I'm not talking about that part of my job, but I will be willing to say that if your child is not on target for graduation and they're at the high school, there's another program that can take them. They don't even take them out of the high school. They shift them over to a new program that moves them through the courses that they did not have and bring them up to par so that they then will be on par to graduate. Maybe a lot of parents don't know that that program exists.
Yes.
We have placed everything in place possible to ensure that we keep our kids, don't let them go by the wayside. And in doing that, you think about all the layers that we're putting in place to ensure that the kids are successful.
Yes.
From finding teachers and training teachers to the best of our abilities, to meeting with local affiliates and local law members, no matter where they are in the county, to ask what can the system further do to ensure that our children are moving forward. These meetings happen, whether parents see it or not. But I want the parents to know that the biggest winners in this is going to be the kid whenever we have the community support, and that the community is helping the parents to ensure that their kids are not in the street, not hanging with the wrong people, not affiliated with a gang, not hiding a gun and the parents don't know about it. Yes. Because you don't know.
Exactly.
You know, I know that most parents by now will never say, I know my child. You know, no, we don't. And I have, like I said, I have two. Once you say that, I know my child, I'm like, no, you don't. No. Come on now. We all have children. We all have to be honest. We don't know every single thing that our kid is doing throughout the day. Exactly. So sometimes it's, such a hurtful thing when they see things they shouldn't see at the end, and we have to call them in.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the community can take care of so much of that.
Yeah.
We don't want to make these school issues or system issues. We want to make them where the community has really shifted and helped in a lot of this. So this goes back to all of our elected officials. They must have a positive voice in this situation. I don't care who they are, whether it's Darren Tisdale, who's our current mayor, or the local elected officials around the other underlying areas.
Yes, right.
They must be willing to bring their voice to the table of what we can do to ensure that our children are moving forward.
Right.
And that's all children. I don't care where they're going to school. If they are within this county and in any school in this county, it is all about the growth of this county. And that is it. That's how I feel about it. I've been working in this domain, in this area for a long time.
And you're passionate about it. I can tell.
I am, because I'm a believer that if we don't grab them early in life, before they're 12, it's hard to grab kids.
It's hard to bring them back in. It's hard to get them back in.
Once puberty hit parents, you get another kid on you. Let's grab them before puberty. Let's get in their head before puberty.
Yes, exactly. Because the negative is out there.
Yeah. And don't let the negative grab them before you do.
Exactly.
Because those negatives are just, I'm going to be biblical. I'm not on any of my jobs, so this is my company. So you're going to send your kid out there, and you remember, you send them into the wilderness, you can get whatever you get out there in the wilderness.
Exactly.
So don't throw them in the wilderness. You draw them jokers right back in. You reel them in like that fish.
Exactly. We have to be fishermen.
We have to be fishermen.
Exactly.
We're bringing them in.
Exactly.
We're bringing them to the good side.
Exactly.
We're pouring good things into them. Because if we do not pour the good things into them, I promise you, the street has stuff that looks so good.
Yes, it's waiting. It's
and
waiting.
It's stopping them from listening in class.
Exactly.
It's stopping them from
being obedient to the parents, attentive,
everything. It leads into them talking back. Guys, think about it. If they're talking back to you, the parent, then imagine what they're doing to us.
Teachers
to
and
adults.
anybody. Exactly.
I'm just an old school teacher who walk in there and they just think I'm a crazy lady. Guess what? It works most of the time. They listen. But our younger people that we're bringing in, they don't think they're going to have to take all of that from young people. So parents, community members, we really, really have to work to ensure this, to solidify our county. Right. This is our county. We've seen huge growth. But I promise you, that growth will be amplified if we get all community stakeholders involved. Elected officials, churches, community members, people. If you're saying you're the leaders, then you have to lead.
Exactly.
That's how I feel about it.
We're back to the village.
You're back to the village.
Back to the village. Well, I want you to know I really appreciated talking with you, Mr. Fred. And I've learned a lot from you. And I hope the people that are listening and looking at this will grasp something. Because, I mean, you laid out a lot of information there. And then I want to tell you, I don't know. I'm not saying all of them, but maybe they're just parents out there that don't know some of the stuff that you just said just now. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I'm saying it. You know,
Yes.
I'm not going to assume
Yes.
parents know this.
Exactly.
So it's
some
not
that may
fair
not.
not to not say it.
Yes.
So I need parents to know that there are other programs for their
Out
children.
there. Yeah, but see,
I need to know them to know their children are in early grades, that there are things out there that they can use to help their kids at the house.
exactly.
I need them to know that there are well-meaning people who will be willing to help them. You just have to ask. Sometimes, you know, pride can get in the way,
Have to
but
put that thing
take
aside.
that pride aside. You have to be amazed at. Let me just give you a joke. I don't like driving. People who know me know I don't like to drive. So I have no problem saying, will you drive me to Columbia? Yeah, I'll buy your lunch and pay you. You know, it's an ongoing
exactly.
joke.
Exactly.
I am
But it's
true
a
to
fact.
what I am.
Yeah, exactly.
And what I love, I love.
Yeah.
And if it's something I don't, I am very true to it. So the same thing
Not
with
because
parents.
we asked them.
You're correct. I had a son. Ask the men from my community how many of them I went to them to help me with my kid.
Yes.
And I will still, at 25 years old, call him and he don't know who's about to be out there to have a conversation. And he probably wants to throw me over the whatever. But guess what? You're mine until I'm no longer on this earth.
Exactly.
And then when I'm no longer on this earth, what I'm saying to you, I've ever said to you, is going to resonate through your brain.
Right. Exactly.
Good or
Exactly.
bad, however
Exactly.
it goes. You have to rein these young people back in.
Exactly.
Our county cannot grow without having our young people understand the why.
Yes.
Why do you vote?
Yes.
And if you are sitting there at your house and you're just voting and you're not taking your children, you're doing them a disservice.
Yes.
Take them to vote and remind them at some point their great-grandparents couldn't. So you take them and tell them the why.
Yes.
If we're going to have a great county, if we're going to have good elected folks that are running our system,
Yes.
then we need to train our children very young on the why.
Why?
You're not doing
Understand.
things blindly.
Exactly.
You're going to do some research
Yes.
before you do anything. And so I'm just a believer in it. And our kids learn very early now.
Oh,
Very
yes,
early.
yes.
So no one can tell me what a 5-year-old can't do. Because I have worked with these little jokers and I know what they can do. So if there's a parent out there and someone's told them their kid can't, then you tell that person they are alive.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
our kids can do whatever we put in front of them.
Exactly.
And I'm a believer because I've lived it, I've worked it,
Yes.
and I'm still doing it.
Yes.
You know, it's my God-given talent. It's what God has put me on this earth for. And, you know, we have to admit at some point what God put you here for.
Exactly.
And mine has been to help children.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's a blessing because you're actually sowing into the future.
Yep. And that's
That's the
all we're
future.
supposed to do. But
Yeah.
I know that's what God put me here to.
Exactly. Well, in closing, what would you say to our audience right now to tell them, you know, what wisdom that you would like to leave with them?
Well, foremost, whether it's parents, whether it's community members, whatever your place is in Williamsburg, because I'm talking to home, wherever your place is, we must remember that children are at the cusp of being great. How do we ensure that they're great? The first thing is education. But we also must remember that whoever we have in any of these offices must be willing to have communication with you guys. Like I told you earlier, I don't care if it's Mayor Tisdale or whether it's over in my community down in District 3 of the county.
Yes.
Regardless of who the elected person is, they must be willing to have conversations with you, ensure that you know their platform.
Yes.
And then as community members, then we have to work that platform. Because one person can't do it, guys. I don't care where you live or what you do.
Yes.
One person cannot do it. It takes the citizenry. It takes us to be willing to go out there and step out there and say, I'm going to have my kindergartners at my church learn stuff. Because I don't know if they're learning it all at school. You know? Where does the church take part? Almost all of our churches have rooms.
Exactly.
Are we using those rooms to the best of our abilities? Or are they just sitting there cold? With Christ like that. Christ was a fisherman.
Exactly. Exactly.
And he was a carpenter.
Yes.
And he just didn't leave the wood there to dry out.
No.
He built
Build
stuff.
stuff with it.
So if we're not building the children, what are we building? So I don't care what the capacity. If you're a community leader and you're not using the I'll say a fire station. And if you can't get it for something other than a birthday party,
Yes.
then are you building that community?
No.
Can you use that fire station to meet with small groups to say, how are your kids doing? Do your kids need help? Or how's your son doing? How's your daughter doing?
Exactly.
If we can't use the resources we have already to leverage where we can take our whole county, then we are doing a disservice to the county.
Yes.
And to the children that we are out here to serve.
Exactly.
You know, I work with kids. I also work with adults. But what I know is if we don't catch our kids, then what's going to happen to them once they become adults?
Lost.
So that is the big thing of what I want to leave.
Yes.
That we must take our community. And, you know, I promise you that what's happening in the public system, we're doing all our best to move these kids forward. I know it because I see it every day. But what I do know, with community support at its highest level, imagine where those kids would be. And I'm a believer in that.
Yes, true. Wow. Well, you guys heard it. Speaking with Angela Fred, she gave a lot of knowledge, a lot of important information, and she's on Facebook. And where's your office located? So if you want to see
Black
her.
River A+ Education Consultants is an online business, and it is flourishing. So if you want to look me up, you can look up Angela Fred, or you can look up my business online. It's on all social media platforms, Black River A+ Education Consultants. Parents, if you have questions about education, guess what? It has always been free. I only charge for groups, and that's not our children. If parents ever ask me a question, they never have to pay me a dime. Now, you know, in terms of helping them fill out all that information, that's different.
Yeah.
But if you have questions about how to, it is all free. Businesses charge for that. I don't. I'm a believer that's just part of my servant leadership.
Ministry. You're doing good. You're doing wonderful for us youth. And that's, like I said, the youth is our future. And if we don't sow into them and pour into them, the streets, as you said, is waiting.
And guess what? We can't let the streets happen.
Yeah.
We beat
I
the
will
devil
not,
back.
exactly. I
And
will
that's how I
not let them
feel
have
about
mine.
it.
I'm going
That's
to fight.
correct.
You know, I'm going to fight. And I'm going to fight for the ones that want to receive my help.
And that is correct.
That's it. Well, thank you again so much for talking with me. It's been a pleasure indeed for taking your time out and talking with Samela. And I have this page on Facebook. It's Samela What's Going On Now.
Okay,
and what I'm
wonderful.
trying to do is just go around and talk to different people about what's going on in the area and to inform parents that have a chance, like the information you gave today. You know, it'll help a lot of people.
Yes.
You know, because a lot of them don't know it's free. A lot of them don't know how to go about getting the information. And you just gave them contact me.
And I'm on Facebook, Angela Fred. I used to be Angela McCleary Rush. I got married.
Okay.
So a lot of them, if I taught them or if
Yeah.
I taught their children,
Yes.
I'm now Angela Fred.
Right.
So the name has changed on Facebook and social media. So they
But
can
not
catch
the
me.
work.
But not the work. The work has only intensified.
There you go.
And you're my second interview for today.
Wonderful.
And I am
Great.
beyond grateful. You know, like I told you earlier, I'm grateful for the work that we can all do in the community.
Yes, wonderful. Excellent. Well, I thank you so very much. And we're going to be talking again.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.